Is there anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Oh, yeah.
No, not
Any
really.
shows?
Not really. Just
no,
hanging out.
I have just come to the Madrid Comedy Lab. I heard ticket sales were like.
Yo, if Superior Design.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
great special.
Go watch his special for sure. It's really funny. We barely talked about it. Which
That's
is,
on YouTube, yeah.
And of course, well, if you're ever in Key West, which I'm not sure why someone in Madrid would. The name is
Comedy Key West. Yeah,
Comedy Key West.
Comedy Key West.
Hell yeah.
One of the best clubs in Key West.
It is.
From what we hear.
Top three.
Top
three.
7.
Third
All
place,
three
though.
positions.
Yeah.
Top three.
Okay. Yo, it was really nice of you to make it to this podcast.
No problem,
I really
guys.
fucking appreciate it.
You guys are doing a great job here.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
I'll do
Great.
the screen again.
Mom,
man.
Nice to meet you.
It
James
means a
Patterson,
lot. It
everyone.
means a lot coming from Joe List's friend.
All right, guys. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Yeah. And there's not even that many mics. Yo, I'm scared of your cat, dude. He
He's
looks
very
like either Ari Shafir or
Kitty,
like
kitty. It kind of looks
right?
Yeah, like a boss like Ari Shafir.
Yeah, Jesus
Which is
Christ.
to say Ari Shafir.
Ari. Yeah, I'm recording, so this is very high production, as you can tell. I'll explain. I'll explain what's going on. The headphones is usually distracting for most people, but whatever you want. So if you, I like it because I can hear myself, and I love hearing my own voice. But whatever you feel more comfortable to.
Dude,
Oh,
the
no,
cat is going to knock something
there you go.
over.
I can hear myself.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yo, the cat is gone. He cannot.
He could not.
That's-
He's just so nervous around comedians.
Liam's cat. Patricia? What's the name of it?
Patricio.
Patricio.
Yeah, Patrick.
Fuck Patrick, dude.
Like the star.
Oh, Pato.
yeah.
Like Pato.
Sort of, yeah. Like
Pato.
we have another co-host whose name is the same as the cat's. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's true. We essentially...
So all three of you do this?
Not really. We have another guy, Pato, but and Liam's just a guest. He's
Oh, okay.
just hanging.
The reason I sometimes have Liam on when Pato is not available. But today I thought it would be nice. Pato was available, but I said, Pato, relax. Yeah, because... Well, first of all, because this is going to be a very comedy-heavy podcast. Pato's not a comedian. He's just a
Right.
dude that hangs around the comedy scene.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have those in the United States at all.
Oh, yeah, we do. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's indistinguishable between them and the comedians.
And the comedians.
This is fucking me up right now.
I hope it isn't, because I try to make it as little like delay as possible. I think it should be fun.
No, it's all right.
You get used
I'll
to
get
it.
used to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
There are people who can barely talk whenever they put the headphones on. It's like, oh, they can, you know. But anyways, yeah, it's good.
It feels normal from you, but there's like a
because your brain is not accustomed to the voice,
my
to
brain-
mic,
yeah,
to
it's-
headphones.
right.
You know, I immediately was accustomed to this because I record songs sometimes using the same equipment.
Yeah.
And I love hearing my own voice. Dude, it is, and I go deep sometimes.
And the songs came out great.
Oh, well, sort of.
Nah, they came out good. Yeah, man. By the way, I just watched your special today on YouTube, and it's
Yeah.
great, dude. It's a great special.
Oh,
So
thanks.
good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
shout out. It's special design, better design. What was it?
Superior design.
Superior design. Yeah.
On 800-pound gorilla, which is pretty cool. It's a great
Yeah.
place to have the
Yeah,
special on.
Awesome.
Yeah, that I filmed it like 5 years before they picked it up. So it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It had just been sitting on YouTube doing nothing, and then
Really?
yeah.
You sold it to them, or
Yeah, pretty.
Sorta.
I had a couple videos went viral, and I
cool.
reached out to them, and
Right.
they had filmed something at the comedy club in Key West,
Oh, cool.
where I live,
yeah.
and so I met some of those guys, and they looked at it and they liked it.
Cool.
So
That's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, you got some great jokes in there. The one about Jim, like the Huckleberry Finn thing.
Oh.
I can't say the full joke. I mean,
Yeah.
it's your joke if you want to go into
No,
it. But
do you know? Other than the one-liners, I couldn't do one bit
Really?
off of that album.
How long ago was it that you recorded? Was it 5 years from
It's-
today? Or?
No. That recorded it in 2017,
All right.
and then they bought it.
Oh.
last year. So
Last year.
it was
Shit.
longer than
Crazy.
5 years. Yeah.
Cool, man. It doesn't feel out of date. Like, I couldn't tell.
It's
that.
because I don't do anything topical.
That's
Right.
true.
You know,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It would be funny if you were super topical and that happens, and it's like, why is he obsessed with
right.
Caitlyn Jenner having a penis? It's like we're over this.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, wait, Obama?
Or
What?
or I think Huckleberry Finn is topical.
Huckleberry Finn.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You're like
that's
the
crazy.
1800s, huh?
And for example, that joke, I think I only did that like 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
I was only planning for that album to be 45 minutes.
Okay.
So I threw a couple things in that I never did before, or I didn't do very much. And then, like when they worked, I was like,
It kinda worked.
I just kept stuff that
How
I
many
had
times do you record it before?
once.
Just a one shot?
And
Oh
it's
shit.
Crazier than that. This is how not a real comedian I am.
Huh. Well, we'll see. We'll compare later.
I gotta
We're
tell
filming
you
with an
about my
iPhone.
new
Yeah.
beat.
We're literally recording this with an iPhone. There's just an iPhone sitting there.
We're so excited to hit the open mic, and he's like, I'm not a real comedian. Doesn't just have a
funny.
special on YouTube.
This is hilarious.
I also like that our camera is being propped up by a Twin Peaks box set.
Oh, yeah.
This is beautiful, dude.
It's-
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
show the people where the iPhone is.
On Blu-ray though, like it's
No, yeah, it's class.
Yeah, it is class. So, all right.
What
Yeah.
were you saying?
The amount
Yeah,
of
you shot
times
it on
recorded.
one take, and it was
I did it in
increasing.
one take.
it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do that because
Yeah.
how many times can you fill a room if you're not famous?
Oh,
you know?
shit.
But so yeah, I only had one shot at it, and then but worse than that, I never ran the hour once.
No?
shit.
Leading up to the special, I never did the hour.
Right.
I was like just doing spots, and then I kind of put it all together in my
That's
head.
crazy. How
Dude.
long, like, how many spot, like, what was the, like, amount of time you did per spot? Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30
Yeah.
minutes?
No, not. I did a couple. I did
30,
a couple
yeah.
30 minutes.
Oh,
but-
that's crazy. So that's chunks.
Yeah.
You were just practicing the.
So I was just practicing chunks.
Yeah.
Jesus,
and then
man.
threw it together. We edited some stuff in post, like we moved stuff around because, like I said, I didn't know the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
kind of did it by
Added
ear.
laugh tracks
Yeah.
and stuff. No, just
Yeah. I wish I could have.
You get some great laughs, though. I was talking to Liam earlier about
It's
this.
a great room.
Yeah.
Where I filmed that, the laugh. There were only about 100 people
Oh.
in the room.
Seems bigger.
Because the acoustics in that place
Awesome.
are great. You can feel like you're killing when you're doing.
You
a
were
joke
killing,
for the
but
third
do you know
time.
you have this comment? It's like the third one, I think. It says, "That's a great special. You have some great laughers in there. Also, you're a good comedian." Like they put you being a good comedian
Oh, right.
second to like, oh, you got lucky. You got some good laughers, dude.
No, it's funny
It's
because
hilarious.
it
Yeah.
happened to me. Like I noticed how good the crowd was, and it's never happened to me that I was like, oh, I'm jealous. Like I wish I got like
Yeah.
crowds like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
And but the special is great. I mean, when we met, I saw you do. It was like 8 minutes we were doing.
Yeah.
And I knew you started out in Boston, and you're a really purist Boston comedian. Very
Yeah.
great writing,
Even-
one-liners.
Even
Really
though I'm
strong.
not from there, so
Yeah. Where are you
And
from
Boston,
originally?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah, and Boston is very provincial. Place,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
If you're
Okay.
not from there, you're not from there.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
Is it hard to get in the scene if you're not from there, or do you accept you sort
the
of
scene's
quickly?
great.
Okay.
and a lot of Boston comics, like people who are identify, I guess, as
Yeah.
Boston comics, like David Cross.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
like, but they're not from there either. Like a
No,
lot of
for
people
sure,
go
yeah.
to the school. There's a lot of colleges. in
Yeah.
Oh,
Boston.
okay.
So the scene often is,
It gets, yeah,
a lot
dragged
of
from-
Boston people.
Yeah, it's
Bill
weird
Burr
because
and-
when I think of a Boston comedian, I think Bill Burr immediately, and that like archetype of comedian,
Yeah.
like a rough guy, kind of like an
And
angry.
he still has the act because
Yeah.
nobody thinks of. People don't think of Louis that way.
That's true.
That's
And
true.
he's from closer to,
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
actual
that's
Boston
true.
than Louis is.
Technically
Joe,
Mexico.
Joe
yeah.
Rogan
Yeah.
as well. I think
Rogan.
he's from the same town. as
Rogan's
Louis
like
CK.
me. He's a Jersey.
Oh, yeah,
think.
that's true.
I think he's
Oh,
a Jersey guy.
born in
No,
Jersey.
he went to Boston in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grew up
Yeah.
there, but he wasn't
Yeah.
born. Yeah.
Yeah, he had some
Shit.
family stuff. Then he moved to Boston.
I think he lived in San Francisco too.
San
for a while.
Francisco, that's where he started smoke weed.
yeah.
This is going to be a heavy comedy podcast. We're just like naming comedians we
I'll
like.
tell you where they're from.
Yeah, and their biography. Joe List.
Joe List. list is from Whitman, Massachusetts.
Oh, there you go.
Shit.
Nice, man.
What was the question you had for Joe List?
Oh, no, I was just joking around. I was going to ask, is it true that Joe List sold his chin so he could be Louis C.K. understudy? Or is that just a rumor?
Do you mean like sold it to the devil?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the weirdest
No, we don't know what happened to
request the devil ever had. I'm gonna need your chin, boy.
I want you to have a small mouth.
I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but that's not what Louis into. He
doesn't care about the mouth. That's true.
Yeah. It's not the chin he's going for. Right?
They actually did a movie together, didn't they? Like the 4th of July, I think it was.
It's at the not the Apollo. I flew up to New York because my best friend is in that movie, or one of my best friends. And
care to name drop?
his name's Chris Walsh. He plays the. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
The guy who plays like his uncle, but they're the same age.
Oh yeah,
They have the best scene in the movie is my friend Chris and Joe. They're real old friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
The scene of them fighting in the kitchen is
crazy.
He was great in the movie. Yeah.
I've seen that scene.
Oh, he's a great actor, Chris.
Is
Awesome.
he mainly an actor or he's a comedian as well?
He and his brother were a comedy team, and the three of us were like we started together and we did sketches
cool.
and
Awesome,
stuff
dude.
together.
Nice.
So and then the brother had babies, and he
Oh,
quit.
shit.
And now
He got a life, which is a killer for comedy.
Right,
yes.
right.
You would have to
fucked.
be a retard to have a kid if you're a comic, right?
I'm
Gabriel?
fucked. Literally,
He's gonna be a dad.
I'm gonna be a
so.
dad. Dude.
Oh God.
I'm fucked. Yesterday I was listening to Renan's episode in Joe Rogan. He just dropped, and they were talking about like how fucking devastating must it be to start off in comedy, have a kid at the same time. I was like, oh fuck,
Right.
dude. That hit me in the stomach. Like, oh, same year, dude. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 28. I'm super young. Yeah.
So too young.
Yeah. Some people would say my father in particular. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying I'm too young to have a kid.
Yeah.
I love when people qualify it by gender, like, well, not if you're a woman. It's like, well, I'm talking about me.
Yeah,
You fucking idiot.
now it's me, dude. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, you're very fertile. You can
I
have
am.
more. Yeah, dude.
Up
You're
until-
shooting like I've seen your cum. It's amazing. It's like
Right?
so fucking thick.
It gets like a long air until it reached your
Oh
face.
yeah, you get airtime.
Yeah,
it's wild.
exactly.
Yeah, I still have to clean it off my ceiling.
Exactly.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah, leave it there for.
Yeah, to remember
Memory's
you.
sake.
Yeah, when we don't see each other because you have a kid.
Yeah.
In case you ever need a baby.
Yeah,
ever need a
exactly.
baby.
They can just strip off the ceiling.
Yeah, that was a big thing in high school. We would be afraid of jerking off in public bathrooms.
As you
Wait,
should.
I think I'm gonna say something very specific to
I don't
me.
think afraid is the right word. Just
Because people
generally opposed to.
yeah, okay. Because women could sit down and get impregnated by your cum, but apparently that was a.
And they
That was the fear?
I was
That you'd
afraid
become
of
a
that.
dad from
Yeah.
coming in the what the fuck?
and you thought they would track you down
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah, they will find you some way.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they sit in it and immediately like this is Gabriel's.
Maybe that's a problem for like Drake.
Maybe.
Not anyone else.
Yeah, not a student, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
me and my like close friend João. We were like, "Oh shit, dude! The women, they
Yeah.
want our cum," you know,
If not for that, we would jack off in every public
everywhere, publicly.
If it
Yeah.
wasn't because this girl sitting in the toilet seats in the
Yeah.
boys' room, by the
Yeah.
way, like
We
so many
just-
things had to come together for that
for
fear
that to happen, and
Yeah.
that was like a very vivid fear that I had. Yeah,
Wow.
that gave me a lot of anxiety. What happened to this conversation? Why are we here?
You.
It was my fault. This is usually what happens. Actually, sorry.
This is the podcast.
This
It's
is the
about
podcast.
A racist Brazilian that derails conversations.
Yeah, that's essentially, that's the niche that I'm going for. You know. Back to you, dude.
No. This is better.
I do wanna ask you. I loved your set. I saw you at the open mic, and it was really strong. And then the other night that we did together, which was the dark comedy roast, it was the
That's
second
where
night.
we met.
That's where you met Liam. That was really strong too.
That was the worst one I've done.
Really?
The next night, were you there? Oh no, you weren't
No.
there. Saturday was great,
Saturday's great.
but it wasn't even that. I made mistakes on the.
On the dark show?
Yeah, like just references that people didn't know.
Oh,
what the
American
fuck I was-
references?
Yeah, American
Yeah,
references
that
that people
happens a
know
lot.
what I
I
was
had a
talking
friend
about.
that told me, because one of my good friends was at the show, he was
Yeah.
like, the last comedian was the best one, but there was a bunch of things that I didn't catch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then the next night, I took those out, and it was great.
Yeah, of course. But
That's
you can't
awesome.
come to Madrid and be like OJ, right? Like people aren't going to be receptive.
Yeah.
No, it's almost like it's not even that. It's you have to pick and choose because
The reference, you mean?
Yeah, we know a lot of
American,
stuff,
pop culture. Yeah, that's true.
But it's like we know fucking Costco.
Yeah.
Even though we have like 2 in Spain.
Yeah. You need to pick those, yeah.
But like, don't say CVS, for example.
You guys don't.
because
There's no CVS, right?
No, we just have pharmacies.
We don't even have
like
that kind of store. We have pharmacies only, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like funny, like what people will understand or not in a European crowd.
Yeah, it's also a very generational thing. I feel like with the internet, because the internet is mainly like English speaking, I do know a lot of American references, and I've barely been to the States. Also from like watching American
and you guys
comics
listen to so much comedy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
much, dude. It's great.
You kind of have to. If you want to really get into American comedy, you have to know the references.
Yeah.
Because like, when you're going like the long receipt at CBS or whatever the fuck, you kind of have
like,
to.
it's crazy to me that you even know that.
I know
that
CBS only because of Todd Barry.
Oh, shit.
Because he had a joke about that. And like 10, 15 years ago, I was baffled about not getting one of his jokes.
Well, his jokes are pretty wordplay dependent too.
Yeah,
so,
like, true.
Yeah, not just references. Like he makes a lot of subtle jokes.
You have to know English well.
Yeah, right.
So you learn a lot about American culture just
to a point
jokes.
where our generation, I think, like my parents would say this all the time. I know more about American culture than Brazilian culture.
My parents say that with politics.
Yeah,
because like I know a lot about the American election, and then I go to Spanish politics, and I'm not as well versed.
Zero,
also, you guys know how to make a spectacle out of politics, which we don't.
That's
in
all
Spain
we
as
know
much.
how to do with politics.
We
don't do anything.
No, Donald Trump and Theo Von podcast. What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't see it.
He's my favorite comedian. I think
he was on with.
He was on
Lex Friedman's.
But Theo Von as well.
Yeah.
He released one with Theo Von.
And how the fuck is the conversation between
It was funny.
Wild.
He was Theo Von talked about drugs, and Trump asked him like, "What's it like doing cocaine?" I was like, "Wow, dude, it's like fucking crazy."
Like Donald Trump doesn't know as well. Like he's acting so coy. Like you've been in New York in the 90s and you don't know what cocaine is like. Sure, dude.
But it sucks. Like Trump is so much better at promoting that the other, because mostly politicians are so boring on podcasts. Like
exactly.
Like Bernie Sanders, I love the guy, but he's. Like,
and he's better than some of the others.
Of course, he's supposed to be the cool guy, right? And it's a political speech. It's not a real a real podcast. With Trump, it's
comedy.
His points across like, I'm gonna build the wall, fuck immigration, but at the same time, he had like 5 clippable moments.
Oh yeah, he goes off message, which is something like in politics you should never do.
Exactly.
And he's just like, "Fuck it, I don't want anyone here," and like that works.
He drops like random tags throughout conversations, which are really funny. Like it was Theo Von or Lex, I don't know who, but they asked him like, "What is your plan with China? What are your policies after you're elected with China?" And he's like, I cannot go into detail, but I have a lot of plans, a lot of the best plans. I'm only gonna do the best stuff. And Kamala, she's so weak. And that was just the tag, and then he went back about the policy. He was like,
he just
what?
drops it in.
That was just random.
He's so funny. It's a problem because it's distracting.
It is
because he just said like, "I'm gonna like not let the Chinese in like the second biggest market in the world," and then he drops that tag, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" And then you forget he's like very bad at foreign policy.
And claiming he's going to do things he's not. He's going to deport everyone. He's not supporting one person.
It's crazy.
There won't not one.
Yeah.
And he says he's going to deport 1 million of them.
It's crazy.
There's no system. There's no infrastructure. There's no.
You just know he came up with that number in that moment. Like he didn't like think it out. It was just 1 million is big, the biggest number. I have the best numbers, the biggest number.
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
Yeah. But how is his minions don't really? Like, he said he was going to build a wall, and it was the wall. He didn't build anything.
Yeah.
And now he's saying, no, it's not a wall. He's going to
push people
he's
out.
Going to push them out.
Because there's no wall, so
because now there's no wall. You can ship him out easier.
It's pushable.
It's pushable.
It's incredible.
He just talks it. He loves talking too. Like he doesn't stop. Like you know those people that like just ramble.
I saw a clip with Lex, and he said that he's like, it's hard to talk for a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people can't talk.
Yeah, that's right. He said that. Yeah,
and he's right.
He's right.
It is hard to talk for an hour. Like
I'm watching Silicon Valley again, and essentially T.J. Miller, whose character in the show is just a talker. He's from the startup. He's just the guy who talks. And you need that guy in the team because like most people are, like you said, are not able to communicate stuff or come up with stuff on the
spot. Or they can sell stuff. That's the big part. Like he knows how to sell stuff. Yeah.
But like we talk every night.
Yeah.
And if you just kick me on stage like they do with him and with no plan.
At all.
And he's high on like
just
something.
Riff. You go ahead. Riff to 10,000 people for an hour.
Yeah.
I would leave in 30 seconds. I would just I'd be like, no, I gotta
not
fake,
for me.
Fake.
But also he's like to 10,000 people who love him, who are like fanatics
that
about
helps.
him. So that does help. Because like normally with like the strangers who are like, now be funny. Yeah. So that's like a different crowd.
Donald Trump, what you mean to say is he's an arena comic.
Yes, exactly. He's Bert Kreischer is what I'm saying.
He goes to his crowd.
Big screen. Half the people can't even see him down there.
It's crazy how much you hate Bert Kreischer.
I do not like his comedy.
Yeah, every episode you name drop him in the
I don't name drop every episode. It's just like, okay, I don't want to talk shit, but I think we have a lot of arena comics now.
Yeah.
Some of them, I don't think they deserve it. I think is the word. I mean,
so funny,
dude. I don't know. I don't
just
funny.
But they do. They deserve it in the sense.
They kind of do.
Arena comedy isn't comedy.
Okay.
So if you're gonna do that, like. Somebody really good, they just be lost in an arena. Like or somebody that I like if you put Todd Barry on at Madison Square Garden, people would just be charging for the exits. They would have no clue. They'd be, why is this guy mumbling?
Yeah, it's a different spectacle. Like, you have to play to the crowd. That's like Kevin Hart. I don't like his comedy, but I know he's a good entertainer.
He's good at that.
Like he can like shout to the last row and everybody's in on it. Like that's true. That's the skill.
The guys that are both like Louis or Chappelle.
Yeah. I was gonna say there,
but I don't think those are arena comics for me. Those are comics
but they
for
can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
what I mean with Kreischer is like I don't think he would do well in a small room of people that don't know him. Like he'll take off his shirt.
But oddly, the hard part, he started in those rooms.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've never saw him. I never met him. I don't even know how I missed him because we were both in LA.
Oh shit!
Yeah, really?
Yeah. But I never met him, and I don't know what he did when he was like doing clubs.
Because we talk shit about comedians here because like 50 people listen to the shit, and now we have an actual comedian and who knows that. You're like shitting his friend.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm friends of his.
Right.
And also like I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I just don't like his comedy. I don't like a lot of people's comedy.
I don't even know what it is. I couldn't tell you one thing he does. I mean, except take his shirt off.
Take his shirt off and then tell stories which are like sort of related.
Even the one everyone knows, The Machine.
Yeah,
The Machine. I don't even know. I know it has something to do with the Russian.
They made a movie out of that shit with Mark Hamill. They dragged They dragged Luke Skywalker into this shit.
Mark Hamill was in that?
Dude, yeah, he was his dad.
Yeah, dude, he was his dad.
And he's old. It could be his last movie.
Yeah.
I'd be so heartbroken if that happened.
Some wild scenes in that movie. I saw the movie. I was in an airplane.
Were you the guy?
I was the guy that watched it. Shit. I fell asleep halfway through, but I watched it. And for what you guys know me.
He's the actor in it too.
He's the guy. He's the main character.
Because there's another one about him that's not him.
Is it?
But that's
what's it called? He was in college. Or
fuck.
The guy who did the Bros of Simi Valley. He's actually really funny. Oh, he's like a big bro dude.
I just know somebody like wrote a story about him.
About his college.
Yeah. Oh, Van Wilder. Wait, it's the Van Wilder movie.
Which I also never saw.
Yeah, that was Ryan Reynolds. Fuck.
Was it?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, because he spent like 8 years in college just partying, and he became kind of a legend in Florida.
Yeah. He kind of failed upwards. Like,
Can
I please ask for us to stop talking about Bert Kreischer?
Yeah, sure, man.
Does anybody know a joke of his?
Fuck, dude.
When I was 20, I got involved with the Russian mafia.
Yeah, that's right. But that's like a 20-minute story.
He has like 9 of those. Like, that's his career mostly. I couldn't tell you like one actual joke.
Yeah.
I could tell you, he has a story.
It's crazy
about being in Amsterdam. That's funny, but I couldn't tell you an actual joke.
The only
with
thing
him.
I know that I ever laughed with him, but it wasn't because of him. They were laughing at him.
Oh no!
It was. Did you ever see the clip where his buddy
Tom Segura
realizes that Kreischer's drinking Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
It is. It's really funny.
Yeah, that's a great clip.
I think you guys are being too mean. I kind of like Bert Kreischer. I was quiet all this time, but
I'm not. I don't know what to even say.
Dude, I think he has some funny jokes. His last special, he has some funny jokes about his family and stuff. But you're right that it's more of I don't know how to describe it. Like, I would say something risky maybe, but like Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. I don't know what happened with my accent. Adam Sandler.
Adam Chandler.
It's essentially the same thing if you watch his early specials, like a lot of voices, a lot of I don't know. Stories that is not for everyone.
But Sandler's, I didn't like Sandler when I was a kid, but enough friends of mine told me, listen to this. He had good ideas for sketches and characters and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I'm his number one fan.
I watched a little bit of his latest special.
I want to watch that.
It just came out. Yeah, it's got a bunch of good stuff on it.
The contrast, because the director is John Safdie. John? Yeah, the same director of Cut Gems.
Oh shit!
He directed his special, and the contrast of how greedy and weird it looked versus the comedy, which is just silly as fuck. Yeah, I love that contrast.
Was it
cool?
The idea that they couldn't get the screen to work is that real or did
that's Safdie? I think. I think that's.
There's an incident in the beginning of people that are fighting in the crowd.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that wasn't planned.
Okay,
the crowd doesn't know, but everything that happens is planned in the special.
People fought in the crowd before the show, or
he kind of stops not a full-on brawl, but people that are arguing.
Okay,
Oh, that's funny.
Dude, I really want to watch this last special.
And I liked the one before that too.
Yeah, 100% fresh. Yeah. Dude, I cried during the Chris Farley song.
Yeah, it's great.
That was so good.
We have in Key West, Farley's brother plays it.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
And he's a really nice guy too. And just talking about, we didn't get into his. He'll talk about his brother, but
but not like that's crazy. How did you? Sorry.
Good.
I was gonna switch subjects.
You
ADHD.
Welcome to the podcast.
I said everything I have to say about Kevin Farley.
No, but is he kind of like his brother, like a bigger, larger?
In fact, he went. I don't know if he did this intentionally, but it's the other way.
Oh,
he's up on stage. He's very small. He doesn't. Yeah, it's real quiet. He's good. He does a good job. But
cool.
But it's the complete. He looks like him.
Right.
So the audience, and
that must be weird.
I think just the age in Key West is right, where he sells out all the time because people are just curious. Seeing Farley's brother.
I learned about Farley way after, because in Brazil, all we have from Farley is the ninja movie, which is ridiculous.
Ninja movie?
Right.
What's that?
Yeah, he plays a ninja that was brought up in a Shaolin monastery.
Oh, that's hilarious.
In China.
I forget what that's.
And he doesn't know that he's white. And then eventually, his master was like, "Dude, you're from the United States." He's like, "What?" And it's Chris Farley in a kimono. It's so funny. Yeah.
I feel like that happened to you in Brazil, where people were like, "Dude, you're white," and you were like, "What?"
Do you guys do they watch SNL here or
no,
on YouTube maybe, but we don't get it on.
Actually, we tried to make Spanish SNL, and that was hilarious.
Oh really? Wait, we did?
3 weeks on air. 3 weeks, dude. It was like, well, we have sketch people here as well. And we're like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
Wait, when was this?
I was a teenager, so it has to be over 15 years ago.
Late 2000s or early 2000s?
Yeah, I think Santiago Segura, I think he was involved.
Really?
Or something like that. He's like our big comedy producer, like our Judd Apatow with AIDS a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
but not
Balder even.
Every other sketch show that we've tried since
didn't work.
I mean, honestly, a couple have laughed a while, lasted a little bit. Like The Kids in the Hall was one in the
that's
80s.
Right. SNL is kind of it's borderline cringy, kind of sometimes. It's not great.
It's terrible.
And I remember when we started getting those videos from YouTube, for me specifically when I was young, it didn't make any sense. You saw big actors doing weird scenes. I didn't understand what it was. It took me 5 years.
It's true. You have to buy into the show. At first, the thing, I really like some eras of SNL. For example, there's this Bill Hader sketch where he's playing a contest show guy,
Presenter.
and he's like, and he's like, "What's that name?" And it starts with famous people, and then he brings out, "This has been your doorman for 5 years. What's his name?" And the guy
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a
really fun idea.
So It depends on the generation.
That era I was already after. I don't know any, but who else?
That's
Kristen Wiig was there.
Yeah, I mean I know who she is.
Yeah, John Mulaney used to be a writer. Samberg was there. They did the digital.
He's another one. I don't know any of his stuff.
Yeah, it's like the tail end of Will Ferrell's.
Right, that Ferrell.
Era.
The end of Ferrell would be the end of.
Right.
And I didn't like sketch that much.
No, it's kind of lame.
No, it's very hit or miss. That's
I liked Weekend Update was what they're because like when I was a kid
with Norm,
he's embarrassing now, but Dennis Miller was the one in the '80s, and he was great at it.
Really good.
And then Norm did it a few guys
Norm,
after.
dude.
Still the funniest parts right now about
Michael
SNL.
Che and they're great.
They're stand-ups.
Exactly, and the concept is so funny and it's new. Like they write like awful things for each other.
Yeah.
They write each other's part.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
And
I've seen clips of that.
Yeah, Michael Che's great.
That was what Sandler was really good at. He would. Who was it? Kevin Nealon was the host when Sandler was there, and he would come and do a character just for like 2 minutes,
kind of like Stefan.
And it was exactly.
That's right.
Dude,
is that Hater?
That's
Hater.
Yeah. Dude, that's like a lot of people. It's so weird to me when I watch old SNL and then you just see people in the background and they're like fucking John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, how that has to be. They say it's a grindhouse, but it has some of the best talent of all of New York comedy. Did you ever like try to get in or like try to?
I've never sent in a packet or anything.
Oh, okay.
How long have you been doing comedy for?
I started in '99.
Oh shit!
Actually, I went on a couple times in '98, and then.
Really started in
99. Really started in '99
in New York. You said
I can show you. I think there are pictures from this bar called Rafifi in New York when I first moved to New York.
Heard of it?
And somebody sent it to me not that long ago. The first one is John Mulaney.
Holy shit!
Looking like he's 12 years old.
Of course,
he probably was.
So last year,
you guys know his buddy Nick Kroll.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Very funny.
So Nick used to host a show at Rafifi as that character he like.
Oh, the European
it's
guy?
like yeah.
We will go to have cool breakfast, maybe a cigarette.
Which for us here in Europe is pretty accurate.
Right.
Honestly, yeah.
And he had a sidekick, and I used to go every night. And then John Mulaney became the biggest comic in the world. And I said to one of my friends, I said, "Where'd that kid come from?" Like,
holy shit!
And he looked at me. He's like, he was on that show every fucking night that we were at Rafifi, that we were there. I was like, that was him.
Wow.
Because they went to college together or something.
Yeah. They went to Georgetown.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dude, but was he good when he was a kid? Do you remember him?
I think he was always good. And remember, the sidekick character was great. I just didn't know it was Mulaney. They were both awesome at it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And did you start at like straight up stand-up comedy, like one-liners? Was that always the goal, or were you doing some weird shit?
The style was a little different, but it was still
stand-up.
It was still just pure stand-up.
Yeah. Who would you look up to when at that time? Like
when I was a little kid, like George Carlin, like older. Yeah. George Carlin was the one that I loved when I was a kid. But everyone like Dennis Miller and Chris Rock. Like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Bring the Pain.
Dude.
And that one, I remember calling my friends, like, because we were all stand-up fans.
Oh, that's cool.
So
this is crazy. Stand-up in Brazil started so much later than that. Like it started like in 2010. It became an actual thing. You know?
One would say it hasn't started yet.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Some could even say you just produced Rafi Bastos and then just kind of left it at
Rafi Bastos and that's it.
Yeah.
No, so who's Rafi Bastos? He's the biggest.
He's the biggest Brazilian comedian. Evidently not that big. Yeah.
No, wait. He's in the States now, right?
He's in
he did New York. For a while.
He got horribly canceled in Brazil.
What did he do wrong?
Dude, the joke is so mild. He was in a talk show.
Oh, I think you told me this the other night.
He was in a talk show, and there was
let's rehash it for him.
Let's rehash it. I don't care because I still he's making a living in the U.S. and he's huge. He's coming. I saw him in here in Madrid.
Oh yeah, he did a world tour.
He's doing it again. He's doing like a bunch of world tours.
That's the new being canceled.
Yeah, but it's like financially, actually I think better because now he's making a bunch of money. I know. I'm good. Man. I'm good.
Yeah, if he's doing theaters,
right?
No, he's killing.
Dude, he goes to like from Europe.
Is he any good?
He's awesome.
actually good, yeah.
But I'll say this.
He has a few hack jokes, I think, about being Latino and like robbing you and stuff. But
my point for Rafi is like he's really commercially driven. Like he's thinking about the sales. So he moved to New York, and the first thing in his mind was like, I'm the Brazilian in New York. I need to deepen my accent. He exaggerates his accent. He does like this character, and all of his jokes at the beginning, at least, it was all about like, oh, I'm Brazilian. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
He's funny. Way better than that. I would say.
Yeah, he dumbed himself down for American audiences, which always sucks to see.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
This is a long digression, but I'll do it. It seemed like in the 80s or even in other, like with newscasters in the United States, you always wanted your accent to be as neutral as possible so it could appeal to as many different people.
Then that switched.
And then that switched, and I had a friend, she was Mexican-American. She didn't speak a word of Spanish.
Right.
And when we moved to New York around the same time, and she got signed by this manager who was signing a lot of Latino comics at the time. And we were talking one night, and I said, because I was still in the old model, mindset, like where I was like, oh, he must, they want you to be able to
generic
have mass appeal to as many people.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, he really like he wants me to play up the Latino thing. And I was like, oh, he wants you to talk about that like on stage. And she looks at me and she's like, if I suggested wearing a sombrero on stage, he would say, yeah, do that. So that
crazy.
was, and that's 20 years ago. So this is,
and she was like, I'm not even Mexican. I'm Colombian.
I mean,
he doesn't understand.
Least Mexican.
That's the other thing, Rafi. In Brazil, like, look at me. I come from a German descent. I cannot say that
He's so proud of it.
right.
He's
like weirdly proud.
Hinting.
I know. I heard about the racism.
Yeah. Half my set is about me being mildly, related to Nazis. Yeah.
Wait,
you couldn't tell it's
how is one mildly related to anyone?
I'll explain very gladly.
Lay it on me.
Essentially, from people from south of Brazil, which is really close to Argentina, most of the immigrants that came there to populate that region were coming after the Second World War. The sequel, they came there to essentially escape the war,
the Nuremberg trials.
That's why your name of your street threw me off a little. It's almost that. But anyway, I'm sidetracking. Sorry. Essentially, it's ex-Nazis, Franco supporters, ex-Mussolini supporters.
I know this history. I want to know how you're mildly.
So,
like what? Who?
My city. I grew up in a city that
you're still deflecting.
Back when there was,
I want name names. My friend, who I told you about earlier, Chris Walsh, who's in the 4th of July.
He's a Nazi.
His girlfriend's, one of his girlfriend's like dead relatives has a Wikipedia page.
For the Nazi
was a Nazi.
thingy.
Yeah.
So I
you
don't
hate
know.
to see that.
Yeah. So my thing is the reason this is so interesting for me is because I have a French last name, but nothing about my family's French. We grew up in a German village.
Yeah.
Everything
about your family is evasive.
It's evasive. and there's a lot of people that move from Germany to Brazil and change their names to whatever, so you lose trace of the Nazis thingy. And we have no documents to back up.
Oh, so
anything.
That's what you mean by mild. Like you actually can't trace it directly.
I cannot trace it. Right. I want to do like the 23andMe thing to figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
And a lot of my set is about me being
I love the idea of the first generation, like very German, very Nazi people in Brazil, and they're like, oh, so where are you guys from France? And they're like, yeah.
Well, we are from the north, very from the north.
No, but that's crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we are French. I don't know. But
you want to justify your racism.
I want to justify my racism, and also there's a lot of like neo-Nazis from the area that I come from.
And they seem cool. What do you mean?
Appeal is very appealing. I don't know.
And I just need friends, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, dude. That's true. Like that's also like a big secret in a lot of Spanish families. Like we had a civil war not 100 years ago, and the fascists won. And then if you're still here after a civil war that the fascists won, odds are
I just
kind of down for fashion.
I wrote this show in where I live in Key West. Ernest Hemingway. His house was up the street.
Okay.
So I wrote, and so there's a lot of Hemingway tourism.
Hemingway was everywhere.
Here,
Madrid also.
Yeah, he fought in that war. Yeah.
So I read a bunch about the Spanish Civil War, and we're not taught just recently, like this year. And we're not taught anything.
That's
about
early
the
for an
Spanish
American.
Civil War in the right. Because it's too complicated for America. Because the fascists were the bad guys, but like the communists and anarchists and socialists were the good guys, and our school system doesn't know how to deal with that.
Like, it's true. So, it's really confusing.
Yeah, and it was when Hemingway kind of got he was weird. He was kind of conservative in America, but he sort of had socialist sympathies everywhere else.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like here. Well, he found
he was the Joe Rogan of
he found
of
the
time.
Republicans to be inspiring because they were dead. There was no way they were going to win.
They were the underdogs for sure.
And they fought like maniacs.
Like crazy, And
then we later found that that's just how communists fight.
Also, just letting you know, like Hemingway fought really hard in our Civil War from a 5-star hotel. People often skip that. Like,
he wasn't in the trenches.
He was kind of famous.
I do a joke about it. In the show. Yeah.
There's the Hemingway bar on the hotel that he stayed. Have you guys been there?
Yeah.
No.
I think it's bullshit, but it's really cool. I like to pretend it's for real.
It's called Museo Chicote.
I don't know. It's under the hotel that's in the same complex of Bellas Artes.
Oh yeah, El Círculo de Bellas Artes.
Círculo de Bellas Artes. There's a hotel there, and if you ask for the Hemingway bar, they
shoot you.
No, they don't show you where it is.
They pretend to shoot you.
It's a secret bar.
They just get drunk instead.
It's a secret bar, and they don't show you where it is. But
you
they're
guys
like,
have to take me there.
It's pretty fucking fun.
I've done all the Hemingway tourism.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was. I made like okay money doing this show, so
nice.
I might be stuck doing this for a while.
Fuck
so
yeah!
I went to Pamplona, which was like one of his other spots.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this bar is like you need to go through the bathroom, and then in the bathroom there's another door that looks like a closet. Then you open the closet, there's a curtain. Then you cross the curtain. It's this fucking cool bar with a bunch of prostitutes.
Jack off
No joke.
There's a little person you have to slap twice.
Bunch of old guys wearing suits and prostitutes in that bar. Really fun.
But that's just Madrid, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
A lot of cocaine.
Is there a lot of drugs here?
Cocaine.
What do you want to know?
Not a thing.
Most drugs,
it's a big city.
I always thought of Barcelona as that city.
They get more tourism, so that it tracks that people would think Barcelona is the big drug city in the States. Is that where people go in Spain?
Yeah, we get the version of Madrid. We're told this is the kind of stuffier, kind of more conservative city.
It is.
And Barcelona's the party.
Well, that's the independent.
But we don't know. But again, we don't know anything.
No, for sure.
I mean, it's more touristy, Barcelona for sure. But here drugs are taken more seriously. Professionally.
Right.
Like, it's the uppers. You know, you only
have
the uppers.
to go to my kids, so I need coke.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Monday again. I guess I'll get some meth.
Yeah. Like Spain is one of the I heard this statistic a long time ago, so it might have changed. But for example, pills, Australia is number 1.
Really?
Pills per capita.
Oh wow. Pills as in
ecstasy.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, not like Vicodin or stuff like that, but like party pills. Mm-hmm. And Spain was number 2, baby.
Hell yeah! Mallorca representing.
Sorry, I have specific sounds.
It's no problem.
But the thing is, we get a lot of like party tourism because in Europe, Spain is very cheap. So, for example, we get a lot of British tourists that come here for the summer, and we have this thing. Well, British tourists, they kind of jump off balconies for some reason, and where they come.
Have you heard of this?
All I know is because Americans don't really travel at all. It's funny because Brits give Americans shit for just being trashy idiots and loud and fat and stupid and all that stuff.
All true.
But when you travel around, like when I travel in South America, there are no Americans there because they just don't go anywhere.
They're in the resorts.
So the Americans there are the Brits. Like they're the ones behaving acting like animals and being too loud. You can always hear it's fucking Brits.
That's true. it kind of goes down. Yeah.
Not to say that if Americans were there, they'd be worse, but they're just not there.
Well, there's a difference. Like the thing is, the British come here to get blackout drunk. Because like alcohol is so cheap.
So cheap.
Yeah. So like we have this thing where like when the first British tourists dies from jumping off a balcony, because they're usually at a hotel trying to
this
jump.
happens enough that
Every year.
you can bet money on
It's
it.
called balconing. Balcon is like rooftop or balcony.
Yeah.
And it's always a Brit.
Balconing is the act
German
of
sometimes.
a Brit or
Yeah.
German trying to get to the pool from a 5th story
It's like a game.
and dying.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
almost every time they die or get badly hurt. And it's really fun for us.
No, it's not. It's not fun. Like they're stupid, but they shouldn't die. But the thing is, there's this thing where, like, when the first tourist,
I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
when the first tourist dies from jumping off a balcony and misses the pool, we say, "Oh, summer has officially started."
Yeah,
that's like how we
Summer
kick off
starts in
summer.
Spain when the
Yeah.
When a
first
stupid Brit
dies
Guys from jumping off a balcony.
in the
100%.
stupid pavement of a hotel resort.
Yeah, that only delights me because of how much the Brits give us shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's a million comedians have made this joke, but like they call us fat, and they're the second fattest country. Like,
Yeah.
well, what are we?
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're the
Yeah.
same people.
Yeah, I remember
we're
Bill
just like an
Burr.
extension of them.
They have
Like, it's-
great marketing
Yeah.
because I think Americans do also have good marketing, but you guys are very self-deprecating, as we
Yeah.
are in Spain, for example, or Brazil.
Yeah.
But Brits have crazy good marketing because
Yeah.
people think of them as Oxford
Me
and the
yeah,
BBC.
I was 35 when I went to England for the first time, and I thought I was going to get off the plane, and it was just a
Yeah.
country full of Ian McEwans. Like,
I see a Sherlock
no,
Holmes.
they're
Animals.
garbage. They're garbage.
Animals. I mean,
Toothless retards. They're like, fuck me ass. Fuck me fucking ass.
you fucking. There was
I think I want to jump off that balcony.
What really was the wake up call for me was Harry Potter's parents in the movies. You guys remember
What?
Harry Potter's?
Are you saying they're trashy?
Parents?
Oh yeah.
Aren't they
You would-
dead?
No, not the parents.
The uncles. Oh.
Yeah, the fat uncle.
Yeah.
They exaggerated, but I feel like that's most of the Brits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're poor as shit. They always play rich.
Yeah.
They had Brexit because they're afraid of 5 Cuban people that might get a degree.
Is that
And now
what it
I
was
don't
about?
get to be a...
I have to admit, and this is the most American admission I'll make. We didn't understand what Brexit was either. I think I was there, and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. for
Brexit
sure.
is the best explanation for American. Is like Brexit is what people in Texas talk shit about
When they're going to
if it happens.
Yeah, right.
It actually happened. That's actually really good. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Because they had like a referendum and it was like a 1% thing,
Right.
and then they just completely cut ties with the Europe economic market. So
Right, but so did it end up helping or hurting? I
Hurting.
heard it hurt their
It hurt
economy.
a lot.
Well,
yeah.
there's this interview which I think like really encapsulates how stupid all this was. This was this florist from the UK, and he couldn't get flowers because it used to be an open border policy, and he could just get flowers from Europe straight to his store,
Yeah.
and they were dying.
No taxes on
Right.
anything
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
Europe. It's
and then
great.
they go like, "Oh, so Brexit has really hurt you." And did you vote to remain or leave? And he goes, I voted leave. And they go, why? And he goes, I wasn't really thinking about the economic aspect of it.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking about my
Like-
brown neighbor. You know?
Yeah.
I want
So,
him
but is
out.
that what was motivating it? Like they just didn't like
Yeah.
that immigration was coming
It was
in?
like a protect
So this
borders
is
thing.
more like Texas than I realized.
Yeah.
And it was also like a thing. They had this thing. There was a big bus with like a sign on it that said we send 5,100 euros to Europe. Let's spend it on our national health system instead. So they were claiming they gave the EU a lot of money and got nothing back.
Yeah.
And then when they cut ties with the EU,
When
the
they
NHS
realized,
is still
yeah,
fucked.
right,
So
right.
because they were getting a lot of money back from the EU as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just thought it was funny that they said, "Yo, you know what? Fuck Europe," and they bailed. I thought it was
And they
kind of
regretted it
funny
like
move.
less than a year in.
Dude, they
were
had
like,
5 prime
well, we
ministers.
might go back. It is like, dude, it doesn't work like that. You're going after fucking Romania like you right now.
You're down on the list.
But even when they were in it, they still had they still weren't using the euro. So that was what another thing that was
Yeah.
confusing. Like, what were they mad about?
Oh, there's a bunch of countries that use their own coins. I don't know.
No, but
The-
they got away with it because the pound was
Kind of strong, yeah.
always very strong.
It's
Now
still,
it's,
Romania wouldn't be able
It's still
pull
way
that shit.
stronger than the dollar.
It is.
the dollar is always weaker, and you
yeah.
guys have more money somehow. You know.
Yeah. Going back to Harry Potter, isn't it crazy that the goblins are the one taking over the banks in Harry Potter, and they are wildly similar to Jewish? Yeah, dude. I was watching Harry Potter the other day and was like, "Oh shit, dude, this is crazy."
They used to say it.
Was that a big thing?
Well, no, I don't know Harry Potter as well, but in the Hobbit, they were. The dwarves were supposed.
Yeah, but the dwarves.
They're supposedly some anti-Semitic trope.
Yeah, but the goblins is wild.
The most anti-Semitic character ever. I don't know how is in the prequels to Star Wars. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude, the guy that
water.
flies. Yeah,
that is. I don't even know what Lucas was thinking.
And then when they did like the remakes with like the better effects, he just gave him a more Jewy face, and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
It's unbelievable.
Pull back.
Yeah. And then somebody, like one of my vaguely anti-Semitic friends, was like, no, he's
you can just say Jewish.
He's not Jewish.
He's a
fucking Arab. I was like, right. Okay, so whichever stereotype you want.
Make it neutral. It's like, okay, let's make it haggle a lot in the movie.
Right. Whatever group we think is trying to chisel you down on auto parts.
It can be Moroccan.
Yeah,
he can actually be like a Rorschach test for like racists. Because like whatever you think he is, that's who you hate. That could work like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can project your racism.
I very mildly know exactly what I would say in that situation because of my background.
Yeah, the G's are strong. Huh?
Yeah, I did not think for 1 second.
It's gotta be the J's.
Yeah, it's gotta be the J's. I was watching Harry Potter.
Brazilian?
Yeah. I think in my accent. I don't know what to... Yeah, I don't know, dude. What else? What time do you need to leave? Because you have a show at 8?
At 8?
He does.
The show starts at 8:30. Doors at 8. I don't think I have to be there.
No, you have to be there.
So we can go for a little longer.
Yeah. It's 7:30 right now.
He put me on at the end too. So
cool. So
but I think he probably wants me there.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about the club because you're doing it every night at the club, right?
The next 3.
Oh, the next 3. That's pretty solid. Yeah. You know, this club is like brand new for us. This is like
new fucking great.
It's
like Mecca. As for us, it's like the Comedy Store just opened.
Yeah. For us, it's amazing.
And it's a good room.
They really
when you're
did
killing,
it
feels like you're killing. Like it's great.
We're talking about the Madrid Comedy Lab. It just opened in February, I think. March this year, and it's a fully English comedy club in Madrid. It's the first of its kind. And it's pretty solid, dude. The shows there, the people that we get, we meet a lot of great people coming from New York.
We have Mike Racine come in from New York.
Yeah.
He killed.
Aruba Ray, that's also living in an island. What's going on with the islands?
A lot of Aruba Ray's headliners headline our club too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a bunch of buddies.
Island buddies.
Island boys.
Island boys.
I mean, it wasn't exactly the same, but we sort of stole Aruba Ray's model.
Oh, really?
Because Aruba Ray he's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then Key West. We
kind of became later like a
because Key West is a big vacation
and Key
spot,
West
right?
is the United States.
Right.
So
Sure. Yeah.
That helps.
It feels tropical, but it's still the U.S.
The country. It's like
or
Canarias.
it's Florida, so it's
yeah.
It's whatever that is.
We could kind of do that in Canarias one day if you want to retire and just do a bunch of comedy. We go to Canarias and we open a club there
In the Canary Islands, there's a lot of like tourists.
Yeah.
We actually talked about this on the podcast a while ago. With
I'm
Roberts.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Very deeply.
So, what's the model for the Madrid Comedy Lab? Are you guys going to be bringing in? Are they going to try to bring in like
they contact comedians
in the States?
Of course.
They
so it's their club. So it's Xavi, Jay, and Abdullah's club. We are just comedians.
I don't think I met Jay.
Xavi. He was the
Xavi. I met.
Yeah,
Xavi Jay.
Xavi Jay. It's like his surname.
Got it.
He's also a French surname, but we suspect he's a Nazi, so we can't really tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
We suspect he's a Nazi. We know he's.
We know. We do know that, but yeah. So like, what's great about that club, I think, is it's run by 2 comedians.
Yeah.
So like, they know like good comedy. They know who to bring. They know who works with because they do the lineups. So when they're doing the lineups, they've thought about like whose style goes with who. So that's really cool. To be honest, like I'm with Gabriel in a lot of lineups because like our comedy seems to match up.
Right.
Yeah, so, they put us like they are thinking about the scene and not just their club because the scene in English here is so new that
they are the scene essentially.
We need support from like clubs like this, so it's really fucking wild. Like when they started, they were doing just like producing shows in bars. like random bars, whatever they could get. And those were already a lot of fun. And there's a lot of other comedians doing the same thing. There's a lot of really good shows.
Liam's a headliner a lot of the times. It's pretty good.
It's
I met the guy. He did stand up in English on Saturday night, but I guess he does really well in Spanish.
Remember his name?
Drawing a blank on it, but he's real good. He runs another club.
Danny.
Danny Daño. Like Big T.
Diego. Sorry, that's
he
Diego
has one
Daño.
of the most successful Spanish speaking clubs.
Yeah. Right.
El Golfo.
Actually, he was a great.
He did good in English. It wasn't bad.
He's a beast. No.
Yeah.
He's like you're gonna laugh at this. He's like a super veteran in Spain.
No, we talked about
and
it.
He's done it for like 9 years.
He came up to me afterwards. He's like, he the way he put it was great. And he's like, I know you are good. He's like, I loved what I understood. He's like, but I didn't get all of it. He was great. Right. He just seemed like a great, and I could tell just watching him do it, like fight through it in English. That he must crush.
He's a pro.
In Spanish.
And he also helps a lot.
He's the kind of guy that he gets down and dirty because he owns the club, but he also hosts 90% of the shows.
Yeah.
And he will, if the crowd's bad, he will just do
30
fucking minutes until
he fixes
good.
it. That's what the headliner and the guy who owns the club in Key West is that. Okay. He was a pro. Nice. He worked the road for 10 years. Awesome. And he does that. He'll just fucking just beat them.
Daniel's a beast. And I think he really helped like Xavi and Abdullah because they've never owned the club and he was already a veteran of that. Yeah. And he helped them like promote it and like get it off the ground.
He mentored the guys for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't threatened at all because it's a totally different market. So it's like,
and even if it was, I feel like more clubs help. I don't think
rising tide kind of thing, right?
Yeah. You'd be amazed how few club owners accept that obvious fact. And instead they have fucking rivalry. These. Yeah, like Hatfield and McCoy's fights. Like if you play this club, you can't play my club.
Oh, really?
In the States that goes on all the time. I mean these are the dumbest people on earth.
Yeah. But also because maybe in the US, it's, I would say something risky, but maybe easier than in Spain to make money out of a comedy club. Here, like the prospect of a comedy club making money, it's so far off.
There's like
it depends which. I mean, I guess you could look at that either way. It's always nice to be the only show in town.
Yeah,
like that's got, which now
is the case.
They have that.
Yeah.
Whereas in the States, like we have that in Key West. We're the only club, and it makes it. You know, we don't have to work that hard.
I was gonna say you settle,
sure.
right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah.
Who's playing tonight? Who the fuck ever is playing tonight? Buy tickets. F words.
This is an American. This is an American.
F-words.
I just realized that, some talent might see this, and I don't want it to think that I'm a potty mouth.
Oh yeah, I actually have a question about Sam.
I never saw you this polite, honestly.
No, you've never censored yourself.
I know. I've done 2 episodes, and both of them, the title is Trigger Warning.
The first one we get a little wild.
You know, it's you know you're triggering when a suspected Nazi is posting trigger warning.
Dude, when he's like, wait, dude, whoa, that's way too much. You're doing too much.
Hey. Come on.
My grandma can listen to this, and she hates the Jews.
Can we go back to saying the N-word?
We're trying to load trains here. Can we?
Shit. A lot of R words in that episode. I'm not talking about retard.
With a hard R.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, what were we talking about? Forgot. I was gonna get another beer because I said no before, like a pussy, and now I feel bad.
What time is it?
It's 7:45.
7:40.
Okay,
How are you getting to the club? Are you getting an Uber?
I'll be right back.
Or something, or
you can take the subway.
I'll probably take the train. I'll probably take the train.
Yeah, then.
Yeah, we can walk to the train together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can I just help myself?
Oh yeah, of course, but you know where it is, right?
We lost the host to a beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to you guys about how much of a retarded faggot Gabriel is.
Yeah. No, we know. Also,
again, you guys, I'm sure, know a lot about the Nazi history.
Yeah,
these walls have ears, as they say. He knows.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna tell like.
Oh no, I'm in it.
We'll all be dead.
I'm circumcised. I can't risk it. I have to be on his side. If he ever finds out, I'm fucked. I really am circumcised though.
Is that not? Is that that's
It's not
the
common
norm? That's
here.
not the norm
No,
in
that's
Spain?
not the norm here.
I got
Yeah.
circumcised at 30.
Wow, dude, we had this kid who got circumcised when he was 13, and you know when you're 13 you get random boners. He had like stitches, so if he got a boner he would like pull his stitches.
Yeah.
And one time we were in math class, and just in the middle of class this guy goes, ah, because he got a random boner and all his stitches just fucking went everywhere, and he had to go to the emergency room.
crazy. I got circumcised. Never, you fucking pussies.
Yeah.
Are
No, I didn't
You know, guys.
Well,
you
in South
understand.
America, they don't do it at all, right?
Oh no, yeah.
Especially with your family, it's weird.
I was referring more to my
right.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But also in Brazil, no, we let
Yeah.
the snake.
It came up.
Yeah.
Let me back up.
All right. All right.
Actually, these are all innuendo.
All right.
It came.
When I
It
went,
came.
when I spent about 4 months in South America a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and multiple women mentioned it to me.
Oh really?
That your
Yeah.
penis is
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
Brag.
Yeah. Is that?
So many women mentioned it.
It's kind of a brag.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was there for 4 months.
I think women
and they all thought I was
prefer-
rich, so it was,
That helps.
it was-
You're like, I'm from Key West, and they're like, oh, but
Yeah.
not like that.
I haven't had to explain anything in Europe.
Yeah.
Can you please buy
But-
me something before you go, Mr. Scott
Yeah,
Patterson,
and
please?
I'm so stupid. Like it took me a minute. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is
Oh,
this
I'm
is the
killing
best.
you.
I'm killing it down here. I'm like, oh wait, they're all just kind of hoping
I can
that I'll get them out of here.
Yeah.
Can
Do you have a working passport?
Oh Jesus.
Can
There's
you please
this-
shoot a load in
Yeah.
No, you don't need
mia.
the condom. No condom.
There's this great Instagram page, which is just a German dude that goes to South America, and he hires like beautiful prostitutes to show him around the most dangerous parts of each country.
What?
So he goes to
wow.
deep like Rio de Janeiro in Brazil,
Yeah.
and he
City
gets
of-
like
City of God stuff.
City of God, and he
Yeah.
gets like the hottest prostitute to like just navigate through the favelas, and so like it's safe because he's with her. But the shit he does is crazy. His Instagram page is fucking
But what's the
awesome.
prostitute gonna do if they like rob you? Are you gonna use her fake boobs to like hit the guy?
I don't
Like,
know what's
what
the thought process behind it, but every video there's like a super hot
What do you,
chick.
it's clicks. It's the
I
same
think it's
thought
clicks.
process between
Yeah,
every.
get it. Yeah.
It's a good. I'm already interested.
Yeah, I actually
It
want to
is.
see your mom.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it is amazing actually. It's a great Instagram page.
Wait,
And-
did you make a joke about his bipolar mom being a whore?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Sorry.
All right.
Shut, I
His
can't
mom's
do-
bipolar, so...
That was the wrong button. Sorry, I messed up. I don't know which button does what. So every time I press
does that
it,
one say mom?
yeah, that was my brain. Whenever you said mom, I was like, ah! Yeah, exactly. Childhood memories. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
By the way, I'm getting kind of anxious, sorry, because just so you know, the club from here in the subway is like 45 minutes.
Oh shit.
It is. I thought it was like a half hour.
Also,
no, because it's La Latina
yeah.
is further than...
Oh,
Yeah, I
normal
should get
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
you
don't
could
want
also
you
get
to
an
be
Uber.
late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also get an Uber.
No.
You
We'll
could
just
get
take
him
some-
an Uber. You're
I
the
won't.
host of
No,
You're the host.
No, I would not do that. Yeah, I would
you-
never do that.
Dude, do you want to?
I didn't even try to escape politely, bro.
No.
no, he's not getting an Uber.
Dude, we're
Not
filming
getting
this with
shit.
this iPhone. You think we have Uber money?
I will bet money that thing died 20 minutes ago.
For sure, dude.
Probably.
Is there anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Oh, yeah.
No, not
Any
really.
shows?
Not really, just
no,
hanging out.
I have just come to the Madrid Comedy Lab. I heard ticket sales were like.
Yo,
tonight.
if
Superior Design.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
great
yeah,
special.
sure.
Go
Sure.
watch his special for sure. It's really, really funny. We barely talked about it. Which
that's
is,
on YouTube, yeah.
And of course, well, if you're ever in Key West, which I'm not sure why someone in Madrid would, the name is
Comedy Key West. Yeah,
Comedy
go
Key
to
West.
Comedy Key West.
Hell yeah.
One of the best clubs in Key West. I heard.
It is.
From what we
top,
hear.
top three.
Top
three.
7.
Third
All
place,
three
though.
positions.
Yeah.
Top three.
Okay. Yo, it was really nice of you to make it to this podcast.
No problem,
I really
guys.
fucking
Yeah,
appreciate it.
you guys
This is-
are doing a great job here.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
I'll do
Great.
the
Thanks a
scream
lot.
again.
Mom, man, nice to meet you.
It
James
means a
Patterson,
lot. It
everyone.
means a lot coming from Joe List's friend.
All right, guys. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Oh shit. All right. Nice.
Great stuff.
It was good.
Jesus, that is fucking a weird echo.
Yeah. It's too isolated.
Can you open a little bit, Victor, please?
You know what I learned today?
What?
I'm allergic to cats.
What?
My eyes are burning, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
you said you were a little bit.
I'm a little bit, but turns out it's not a little.
No, but
I'm
this-
fucking dying.
I mean, this house is covered in cat hair,
Cat.
obviously, but
Cat juice. Yeah.
you should have taken an antihistamine or something, yeah.
Also, you have a great selection of games.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm
dude.
trying to sell every one of them.
No,
for
why?
maximum value.
Really?
Yeah, because I was about to go like a return to a store, like to a second-hand store.
Yeah, and
my
just
best
sell it?
friend is super into like Wall Street of video games.